Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Expert to Authority show. This is your host, Simone Vincenzi, and this is the show for coaches, speakers, and trainers who want to grow their businesses while making an impact in the world. This particular series of episodes is part of a series where we explain our philosophy and methodology in building your business, building it to multiple six figures and seven figures, become known and become an authority in your industry. And today we are going to talk about how to become known in your industry and how to become seen and how to become an authority. So if you're watching right now, make sure you pop in and say hi. In fact, we have the one and only Sean Young here. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at the live stream in the Facebook group, the Expert to Authority group. And actually, if you have not joined it yet and you're maybe watching this replay on YouTube or listening on the podcast, make sure you scroll down on the show notes or in the comments and join the group. I love to see you there and for you to be part of that conversation, because today we are going to talk about how to get seen and get known in your industry. Now, you will see as well that there is another link here if you scroll down in the show notes, and if this message resonates with you, then to apply to work with us and become part of our community and our ultimate expert program. And you can find all the details at gtexmethod.com. So it's gtexmethod.com. Having said that, let's get started with the music, because one of the things that we teach, if you have maybe watched the other episodes that we did on this topic, we base our GTeX method on three pillars. Pillar number one is the community that you build. So the importance of having a community and building your business around the community. So build your community and your community will build your business. The second part is having a business model that allows you to build recurring revenues. So then you can have flexibility and freedom in your business. And then the last part is visibility. How can you get seen, how to get known, and how can you make that difference with your message? Because the reality is you can be the best at what you do, but if no one knows about you, uh, good luck. Really good luck. Really good luck. And there are different ways in which you can get known and get seen. And there is one thing that I want you to take away from this episode is that uh, building your profile and visibility is not a luxury, is a necessity. And a lot of people, what they do, they start having great offers, they spend a lot of time building their skills, which is important, building their programs, building their services, and then they launch and crickets, nothing happens. Why? Because they've not invested time to be visible, not invested time to get known. And if you think about this in business, most of the time the work that you do today is the work where that you get paid 3 to 6 months from now. So the visibility that you're going to gain today are going to be your future clients, are going to be your future revenues, are going to be your future community members, are going to be the people that are then going to pay you those recurring payments or payment plans, or what we talked about in a different business model in the previous episode. So visibility is what allows you to build that relationship with them, because before people spend money with you, what they will do, they will spend time. Right? Before people spend money, they spend time. So now the question that you need to ask yourself, first of all, is that how do I get people to spend time with me before they spend money with me? And then the other question to ask is, where can I find already the people that are going to be my future clients? Someone has them, right? So we have developed 4 visibility strategies. And depending, I'm going to give you all the 4 strategies. And I'm also going to tell you at the end for which kind of personality and which kind of natural attitude that each strategy is best for, and you can start with. In an ideal world, you want to do them all. In an ideal world. But to start, you only start with one at a time until that become like you create a nice system around it. Then you optimize the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, or you hire people to do them for you, which is even better. But we start with one, which is the one that is core to you, right? So let's talk about the different strategies to get seen and get known. And the first one, and we have created an acronym because being a speaker. You know, you need to have a good acronym. That's what they teach you when you go to public speaking school, that you need to have acronyms so then people can remember better what you are talking about. So our acronym is the ASAP formula. ASAP formula. What does ASAP mean? Association, speaking, awards, and publication. So let's get to through them all. The first one is association. Association happens when you're associating yourself with an established brand or with an established individual or personality in your industry. The idea is, if they are known and their level of brand is there and your level is here, you do some work with them, well, you will not be at their level, but you will raise really fast, right? And so, if you want, one of the greatest ways to leverage it is to get in touch with people that are influential in your industry, that have communities that are influential in the communities that you want to get into, and or brands, and then leverage their that logo, leverage that personality. So we have done it in different ways. Now, as you might know, we have multiple companies within GTeX, and we have companies in a corporate space, and we have companies like GTeX here, the GTeX training that we run. Now, we used association by leveraging at the very beginning, by leveraging a bit other speakers that we knew that were a bit more known than us, and they will still like give us a favor, come and speak at our events, and then how we got our name out there. And then when we started building something substantial, then we landed some big names. I did an event with 1,000 people with Les Brown. I was part of another event with Gary Vee, another event with Dr. John DeMartini, another one with John C. Maxwell, Simon Sinek. So all these names that we worked with, that we built relationships with, then elevated my personal brand. But let's look at on the corporate space. We have a sales training for recruitment agencies that my business partner Ben manages. One of the things that we did work with LinkedIn and the Adecco group. And once we landed them as clients first, then we were able to leverage those brands to get into any other contract. Now, the Adecco group is the largest recruitment agency in the world. LinkedIn, you all know what LinkedIn is. So the idea is that we said our pitch was literally, we did this work for LinkedIn and Adecco. Do you want us to do the same work for you? That was our pitch. And that's what got us contract over contract over contract. So that's how the power that you can leverage association. So that's number one. The second one is speaking. So A, association, S of ASAP, speaking. Speaking is the one activity that is linked to revenue, direct revenue generation. What do I mean about that? Speakers are leaders, and if someone see you speak, you are on a stage, on a personal, an event in person or a virtual event, what's gonna happen? If they like what you have to say, there is a direct connection there. Why? Because they spent a lot of time with you, and also they see you now as a leader because you said something that makes sense. Of course, we need to be good at speaking and to have a clear message and to share something that they will value. That's the basic of that. But once you have that, then you can sell your services, you can sell your products. And that, for example, has been my favorite strategy. That's how we started GTeX. I was speaking everywhere I could. I was in every single event that I could speak at. We organized our own events. And that's also in alignment with my natural way of expressing myself. I express myself really well using the spoken word. And I prefer doing speaking rather than doing anything else. Actually, when I was a kid, side note, teachers could not shut me up. Right? And they would say, "Oh, Simone, shut up. You can talk even with a wall." Now I'm getting paid for it. Ta-da! Right? That's how you leverage your natural skills. So that's why I love the dynamic and the word of speaking. Also, you can use speaking to corporate. You can use speaking, for example, to sell your product services, to invite people to have consultation, just to raise your profile and build your brand. When I did my TEDx talk, for example, there was no call to action, there was no sales, but I leveraged the TEDx talk, and that gave a huge boost on my profile. Then you can use speaking to get paid in front of corporate audiences, for example. So that's another great way to use speaking. Or emceeing and hosting. Maybe you are great at shining your light on other people, and you can have that personality that brings an event up, that brings the conversation together. That's a great way to use hosting as a skill. So speaking is the second one. So we have association, speaking. The third one is awards. So ASAP, association, speaking, awards. Awards are an incredible strategy in particular to leverage and boost your profile and visibility and connect. Now, very few people will buy from you because you won in a particular award. So what's the game? The award game. The award game is about leverage. You take the awards that you win and you leverage to get into publications, to get other speaking engagements, to network with the other people that are finalists at that award ceremony. And that's the power of award. This is how you use that award, how you leverage it to get more and more opportunities. Now, once I understood the power of it, I decided to apply at least or to become a finalist. Like I have a goal to at least become a finalist for 2 awards every single year. Why is that? Because I'm getting into the right room, I'm connecting with some great players that are there. I am leveraging those awards and keeping myself relevant in my industry, relevant in my field, and getting people to talk about us and talk about me. And then I'm using this to get into publications, for example, or TV appearances. For example, I had quite a lot of TV coverage in Italy because when I won an award, I won the award as a best public speaker in the UK when I was 27 or 28, I think. I don't remember that particular year. And then I called a TV station, which was our local news station, and I said, "Hey, I'm from Italy. I moved to London when I was 20. I built my business, and I've won this award at the moment." So I don't know if that's a message that we can deliver to your audience, and we can do a feature of some Italian, which is from from that particular part of Italy, and how they build their career in a new country and learn to speak English and win this award. And they did. They did this great piece, and that got me to a lot of other media interviews and other media appearances. And the other media appearances keeps me relevant, which makes me visible, which in return is gonna get me clients because it's gonna give more eyeballs into what we do, because more people are gonna search for me and more people are gonna search for GTeX. So that's how you leverage a word. Okay, so we talked about the 3 strategies so far: association with brands or individuals, speaking, awards, and then there is the P, ASAP, P, publications and media. Now, publications and media are great because they already have the eyeballs that you're looking for. If you post on social media, your message is very likely on to be seen by the people that are following you. Unless you have you have already a huge audience, so you have a strategy that goes viral, or you do some partnerships with others. But other than that, if you post on your own social media, it's mainly going to be seen 99% of the time by a percentage of your followers, not by all of them. So if you want to get in front of new audiences and you get featured on radio, you get featured on TV, you get featured on publications, what's going to happen? Now you expand and tap into audiences that are already there. And guess what? Because it's not you talking about yourself and your company, but it's other institution talking about them, then your credibility is even higher. Because now you have other people talking about you. I want to also give a shout out to everyone who is watching live. So if you're watching live, thank you very much. I can see your comments as well. We have Claire here as well, and we have Elizabeth. We have Sean. Yeah, she found a potential way to get into good housekeeping. Yeah, let's write that pitch, Sean. Let's write that pitch. So going back to publications and media, that's where you're going to tap into audiences that are already existing, and that's what's going to make the difference, and that's what's going to give you even more credibility, and how you can leverage those logos. So for example, when I started at the beginning, I had to learn how to write content in English. It was very difficult My written English was way worse than my spoken English. My grammar was all over the place. I really struggled to write sentences that made sense. So I started literally with a small blog that fortunately no one would see. And then I started writing for other smaller blogs. So I was getting into the gist of writing. And then I started actually getting confidence in my writing skills. And that led me over the years to become an official contributor of entrepreneur magazines, on Forbes, of the Huffington Post, because when I had some really good pieces, then I would approach those editors and publications and say, hey, this is some of the content that I create. Do you think that I can create some for your platform? And remember that publications and media, they're always looking for sources. It's their business. They need new stories. They need new voices. They need new point of view all the time. And if you have the right message with a great quality, then they, and in particular, the bigger one, they're going to see it and then feature you or allow you to become an official contributor, which is even more powerful because now you can write as much as you want. You have your column and you are in control of the narrative. But even if they do a piece on you, it's great anyway, right? It means that most of the time you have other people writing about that, about you. So publications and media is awesome way to build your profile and visibility. So as you can see, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, in an ideal world, you want to use all the four strategies: association, speaking, awards, and publication. That's in an ideal world. But if you're saying, well, it's too much, I hear you. It is too much for everyone. So unless you have a team that can do a lot of these parts, then where do you start? Well, you start with the thing that is more natural to you, that is more natural to your personality. So everything that we are doing, we are always looking at leveraging our gifts, leveraging our innate gifts, and spending more time, as much time as possible, in our zone of genius. So I chose speaking. Why? Because the spoken word is what I prefer doing. I don't have problem setting up this camera and talking to you. That's why I'm running a podcast. That's why I'm doing video. That's why I'm doing speaking engagements, because that's my preferred way to express myself. But how about association? Well, if your preferred way and of getting seen and getting known is actually building a relationship, you're naturally building strong relationship and you can leverage also those relationships, but in particular building them, then association is great for you because what all you're doing is to build a relationship with other people that are more influential, other brands that are more influential than you at the moment. Now, let's say that your gift is speaking and you express yourself better in the spoken word, then use the strategy of speaking. Let's say that you prefer writing, then you will write, you express yourself way better in the written word, you will use writing first. And you can write for publications and media. Let's say that you are great and filling up applications and winning bids, and that's something that is part of your background. Applying for award is a great one. I generally leave award as the last one though. I rather start focusing on either association or speaking or publications, and pick one of those as your primary visibility strategy. Awards is something that you can do in the background because, as I mentioned, awards is about leveraging. Awards is about leveraging, right? And so you will leverage awards either to get more association or to get more speaking gigs or to get more media appearances or to write more articles. So that's how you're going to use awards. So this is the ASAP formula, and this is what we help our clients with. It's part of the GTeX method and the Ultimate Expert program. So check it out. You can see all the details at gtexmethod.com. And this concludes this three-part series around the GTeX method, where we talk about building your community on the first episode, when we talked about the different business model to build recurring revenues on the second episode, and then the third one is about visibility and the ASAP formula. So if you're listening to this and you're saying, or watching, and you're saying, you know what, this methodology makes sense, it makes sense, how can I apply it to my business? Because if I'm visible in the right places, I'm building my community, and I'm setting up a system with the recurring revenues, now I can make an impact. So I can get known, I can get paid, and I can make an impact. And that's what we do here at GTeX, to give you a business that gives you freedom and impact, right? So that's the end of the show. Let me know also if you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, or subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcasting platform, which is the Expert to Authority Show with the new snazzy name and rebrand. Ta-da! Also, leave us a review. You know, the reviews are and comments are the life and blood of our shows or social media. So if you're watching this or you're listening to this, then leave us a review. Let us know what you enjoyed the most, because that is going to help us out to grow the show even more, have incredible guests as well. So please do that. And also, you want to work together, watch and go to gtexmethod.com. So it's gtexmethod.com. So go there. All the informations are there about the GTeX method, community, recurring revenues, and visibility. Now it is time for me to wrap up. Thank you very much for being with me today. I cannot wait to see you in another episode of the Expert to Authority show. And until next time, always remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.